Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Bookish Spuds podcast. I'm Kerry-Ann.
And I'm Megan.
Today we're going to talk about our upcoming August releases that we're excited about, and we've picked two, and we are sharing a joint third, and I'm really excited about that. So, who wants to go first?
You can go first.
Thought that was coming. So my first one is Meet Me in Milan by Sophie Gravia. I hope I'm saying her surname correctly.
I'm terrible at saying surnames, right? I always hate trying to say them correctly.
It's out on the 17th of August and I'm really excited. I recently just discovered this book and I cannot wait for it. It sounds like the perfect summer beach read, even though we are nearing the end of summer, as we can say. It's about Zara, who can't stop thinking about her ex, and then she finds out he's engaged. But he's not just engaged to anyone, he's engaged to an actress. And they've just announced their engagement, and the party is in Milan. So, what would any normal woman do? She hops on a plane after finding a note that describes that their feelings were once mutual, and she hops on a plane to tell him. I have no idea what way this is going to end up. I would love for it to be, I don't know, I would like for it to be where she just realises the excitement of going to Milan, but I also hope for a happily ever after. So I'm really excited to read it, and the cover is absolutely beautiful.
I have a feeling though that I feel like I can predict what's going to happen. That she's going to go to Milan and she's going to meet someone in Milan that's maybe part of his wedding party, fall for him, and then decide that her feelings for the other one maybe wasn't as real as she thought. That's usually I feel I've seen that trope happen a lot of times where she's going to tell him his feelings and then she actually meets someone when she's there on the holiday. And usually it's a person that's part of the wedding party as well.
See, I do like that. That's normally what happens. I've read some books like that before, especially with Mills and Boon books. I absolutely love them, and they end up that way as well. So I'm excited to see how it ends. My second book is released on the same day, and it's More Confessions of a 40-something Fuck-Up by Alexandra Potter. It sounds really good. I have it on my TBR list, the first one this month. I'm really excited to read it. The main character is Nell. So I'll explain what the first one's about. The main character is Nell. She thinks her life's a mess. We're all surrounded by perfect Instagram lives and images. And what does she do? She starts a secret podcast and forms an unlikely friendship with an 80-something widow called Cricket. Now, she plans that the following year she's going to be in a different place. First, before that happens, she has a confession. Now, I have no idea what the confession is. I've tried to stay away from all spoilers, so whenever I've seen bloggers and TikTokers discussing this book, I am quickly liking it and swiping away quickly because I really don't want to spoil it. I've got the first one on my TBR list for this month, and then with the second one coming out on the 17th of August, I've also got it added as well, and I'm really excited for it. I have had an Alexandra Potter book, and it is the one that you gave me years ago.
I've never actually heard of her before, so that's how much I pay attention.
Yes, it is it's like a white cover and it has orange flowers on it, and I absolutely love it. It's my favourite book cover ever. I've had it for years, and I can remember the day that you bought it and I wanted it then, and then it was one of your book clear out days, you were getting rid of it, and I was like, I'll be taking that, and I nabbed it from you. I don't even think you ever noticed, but I quickly grabbed it.
I can't actually think what it was. I probably would recognise it if I did actually see the cover.
I love how we're just literally looking around my bookcase now to see. It's like, where is it?
I actually can't see it. It's because you have so many books, I actually can't find it.
No, and it's not even in, because I have my rainbow shelves, it's not even in that section. I think it might be in I also have a built-in wardrobe with bookcases, so I think it might be in the built-in wardrobe with books in there. It's about somewhere.
I feel like you're going to have to go back when you're editing and pop it in and say, editing Kerry-Ann, this is what I've found it now, so you can tell the name, because that's going to annoy me now.
I'll add it to the resources and I will tell you whenever I have it. So yeah, I will let you know whenever I have it, and I'll add it to the resources because the cover is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love it. So, do you have your two books?
Okay, so my two books this is why I always get confused. So my two books are actually second in series, but this is where I get confused because it's not like a series where you need to read the first book. You can if you want, but it has, is it companion people? Like it has a character that appeared in the first book and then it's their story in the second one. I always wrote the name wrong.
Interlinking characters.
That's what it is. So like most romance books do that now. So if you want, you can read from the beginning. Sometimes I tend to do that there, but these ones I'm really excited for. So the first one is Hideaway Heart by Melanie Harlow, and it's out the 7th of August. So as I said, this is the second book, and this one has some really great tropes in it. It has a bodyguard celebrity, it has one bed, forced proximity, and it's in a small town. And I know that the main male character is ex-army or ex-navy, which is one of my favourite tropes, so I'm super excited for that one. The next one is The Royal by Susan Stoker. This is the second book in the Game of Chance series, and again this has a character from the first book, and this is about a group of Navy SEALs who have come home and they're kind of all live in this town, this really small town, and have their own business. And this is about one of the guys, because the last book was really good. The first book in this series was about one of them, and it was this girl's car breaks down in the forest and it's snowing and they have to stay in a cabin together, which
is proximity,
which is like one of my favorite things. That was the first one, and then the second one, as I said, is about one of his Navy SEAL friends. But I'm really excited for these two. A really good thing is that these books are all on Kindle Unlimited, which I didn't realize until I put them in my Amazon wish list, because I'm so happy about it.
Sorry, screw my face up because I don't have Kindle Unlimited.
They're on Kindle Unlimited, or you can buy them. I know that I seen The Royal by Susan Stoker was actually just down to $1.99 for pre-order. So like they're not that expensive and they're really good books. I suppose anyway we're supporting authors, whether we're buying it or Kindle Unlimited, is a good thing to be doing.
I prefer to buy them on Kindle because then they're mine to keep. Like I know that we borrow off Kindle Unlimited and I know that we pay the monthly fee, but I prefer buying them because then I can still, they're mine to keep. They're still mine. You have to give them back.
I understand that, but I do find that sometimes ebooks, it's a really confusing thing in my brain. I'll pay like £5 or £6 for a paperback, but I don't want to pay £5 or £6 for an ebook, and I don't know why. I don't know why.
I have paid, I think, over £12 for a Kindle book before.
That's just, I couldn't. I
have. Like, I will admit, Kindle is my favourite form of reading. So that is how I generally read all my books. I always think about, where am I going to put this physical book? Because I am running out of space. So I'm always just like, I'll always have it on my Kindle.
The strange thing is, I've really got into reading them paperbacks again. Like, that's what I'm really liking. But my books that I want to read, I'm only going to read them on Kindle because that's how I read the last two books.
I really want to do that, like, old discussion of physical or ebook. I really want to do that and how much you would pay for it. I really just want to have that discussion with you because I feel that we would have totally different views.
Well, that is a discussion that we can have about books and pen, and because they even turn them into slumps. It makes me confused when I read, like, I go through my ebooks and I'm like, I don't like that. I read like 100 pages and then I'm like flicking.
You do that so much, and it really,
I did it with a book the other day.
It annoys me because I'm like, how can you read 100 pages and not finish
That's literally what I did with a book that I was reading. I was like, I'm bored now.
That's so bad. No,
we got like way off track because I feel like there's one book that we both are excited for August that we need to talk about, but also I can see that you found the cover of the book that you were talking about.
I have.
So we don't need to like edit it in.
Well, I wasn't planning on doing that. I was just letting you go with that.
I never read like.
It's called Who's That Girl, and it's by Alexandra Potter. Do you recognise the cover?
Vaguely.
Well, it was years ago and you're a wee bit
What year was
older,
it out?
So
I feel like that. What year was it first published?
2009.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Like, your reading habits have changed so much. You bought all these, like, fiction books and never read them.
I wouldn't have read that book years ago.
But it's the one you bought.
But it's one I probably would read now. Because I was unsure, like, YA. All I read was YA. Now all I read is adult, so.
Well, you're not getting the book, so it's mine now.
I just rebuy it like I had to do for a book that I recently read or wanted to read and realising I didn't have it. Right. After that discussion, what is the third and final book? I'm very excited because it has my favourite word in the title.
I know, right? And I know people will be like, you can't talk about that. And I'm like, trust me, I started my Christmas shopping like January 4th of this year. I can start. The Christmas Letter by Emily Stone. Now, it's out August 3rd. So it is a Christmas read, but it's really, really good. And the cover is so pretty as well. I do judge a book by its cover, but I tend to still love a book. And I don't care. This just sounds amazing. So I will read it out. Every December, Holly writes to a stranger who is spending Christmas alone. And every year she receives a letter from another lonely person. Being a part of the Dear Stranger Club is a tradition she has come to treasure because ever since the accident 3 years ago, Holly has spent Christmas alone. Usually the letters go unanswered, but when Holly reads this year's Christmas letter from an older woman called Emma, she feels compelled to find her. Emma writes of sadness that Holly can relate to, and she mentions a place Holly knows all too well. Holly offers to help Emma reconnect with her estranged grandson, but when Holly tracks down handsome, dark-eyed Jack, she realizes she's met him once before and the connection was electric. Suddenly, helping a stranger is about to get a lot more complicated. I'm so excited.
Oh,
Can
my
we
goodness.
just tell she's gonna fall for Jack?
Stop. I'm literally adding this to my adding this. I can't actually speak. I'm so excited. I have never heard of this book before, and I literally need it in my hand. It has like Christmas editions. It has people that are like just lonely and then they make friends and there's older person. Oh my god, I'm pre-ordering this now.
I know, because
What
it's one of those
time is
things. 3rd of August. It's one of these
it?
things as well. With Christmas, I'm always so cautious of that extra smile or that extra bit of helping someone because we don't know what they're going home to at Christmas. We're so lucky we go home to our family. Do you know what I mean? We have our family, we visit them, we have friends, but we don't know what other people have. So this just made me instantly fall in love with it. It's the loneliness that I always think about around Christmas because Christmas can be such a lonely time, even if you're surrounded by loved ones. And whenever it's obviously the grandson and she knows him, and it was just like, this is fate, people.
But that's I love actually the idea of writing a letter to someone who's maybe alone at Christmas, just to have that nice correspondence between each other. I think this is going to be a really like heartfelt and just lovely, sweet contemporary with some romance. Oh my goodness.
It sounds really good.
pre-ordering
I
it
love
after this.
it. I'm really excited for it. As soon as I read what it was about, I was just like, it's got Christmas in the title. It's to do with about loneliness at Christmas, and she's helping loneliness, and then people are writing to her, and then it's the like handsome, dark-eyed Jack, and it's just like, yep, I'm here for this. I'm actually here for this. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for listening.
We will see you on the next episode.